Hello, I'm Dr. Harper. This video is a syllabus video for the Supply Chain Management course in the one-year MBA, and this is the AMBA 6271 Section 534 course for the Spring 2022 Term 7. So let's bring up the syllabus. So the syllabus starts with the course description here. Actually the course here, this is the ID, the call number, and it starts April 12th through May 11th. Wednesday is the session in person from 6 to 9:30. I start with a description here that's within the catalog so we can compare it. And I start with then a schedule. Now, the weekly sessions are on Wednesday, and here are the introduction and overview for this first session, tactics and analyses, strategy and integration, project presentations, and exam. Now, I will open up Canvas a week ahead of time so you can look at all of the material and come prepared, which I mentioned in the welcome video. We have homework on Tuesday, so notice it starts from Wednesday to Tuesday. So that's like the week. And then you submit it on Tuesday, and if I can, I'll grade it so that Wednesday night, then we can discuss it. We'll have 3 homework assignments. And each homework assignment, there'll be definitions of terms, and some of them are going to be quantitative, and I'll have helps, in some cases videos on how to work them. Okay, one thing I want to emphasize is the end of the course is May 11th, 2022. Nothing is considered after the end of the course. Everything has to be done. Notice the exam here. If for one reason or the other you're not going to make the exam or can't make the exam, then you need to take it earlier. You can't take it later because it's going to be over that's on a Wednesday. And then on a Thursday is when I submit the grades. I do the grading and then submit the grades. The individual projects are due May 11th. No late reports are accepted because that's the end of the course. And so the project presentations are in class. Okay, and so I have the due date on the project presentations on May 11th, but submit them before then. Okay, the required textbook is Simke-Levy. I call him Simke-Levy, Simke-Levi. But anyway, it's a very, here he is. It's a very good book. It's a very practical book. It's a very popular textbook. Okay, and so a lot of the reading will be out of there. But then again, he just has, my approach is much deeper. I try to make it more current. But it is very applicable. He does have the definitions of terms. He doesn't necessarily have the applications today because things change every 6 months, every few months, every 6 weeks. So, but it is a very good text to lay down the foundation of designing and managing supply chains. Grading, just like the operations course, it's going to be solely on the percentage of your grade measures here. And you calculate how many points you have. If you don't turn it in, you get a 0. That's 0 points. Out of the total possible, that percentage over here corresponds to your letter grade. There are no plus minus grades, notice. No curves, no extra credit, like operations. So even though this course is designed basically like operations, the content and delivery is a little bit different, but the rules are the same. So I'm going to go through these fairly quickly. The rounding conditions are the same. The homework's designed for learning, project designed for research, exam designed for evaluation, similar to operations. All assignments are submitted through Canvas. Exam is in class, project presentations are in class. The policies and procedures in the syllabus apply to every student, so make sure you read this syllabus and use this syllabus and even the video as a reference for the policies and procedures because they will be followed. And each student is responsible to know and comply with all policies and procedures. So make sure you have this as a reference and you make yourself aware of them. Again, the end of the course is May 11th. Nothing is considered after the end of the course. So let me start with the course topics. I've divided up into 4 different divisions of 4 sections. Supply chain functions, logistics, inventory, relationships, information, strategy. There's where you have I call them functions. It's the discipline areas. We'll look at each one of these, and a lot of these are contained in operations, but the takeaways are going to be extended to the supply chain. And then we have the supply chain, I call them characteristics. Like you'll have lean supply chains, which is going to be minimum waste, like quality control. Green supply chain, sustainability. Smart supply chains, there you have technology. Resilient supply chains, and that is when it becomes undermined or compromised, coming back. And responsive. Another word for responsive is agile supply chains. How agile. When things change, and supply chains have to be much more agile today than they ever have been. When things change, you have to be changed with them. And then the different supply chain types. There's a lot of supply chain types out there. I picked these 4 just for this course as a beginning point. Commodity supply chains, as we see, are extremely important. So the commodity supply chain is kind of like the link that kind of begins the whole supply chain. Reverse supply chains, which is very important for the economy and also strategy within companies, especially retail. Global supply chains, then now you have international business, and then service supply chains. The way I develop that, which I have in the syllabus, is the introduction. Level 1 is introduction and overview, then tactics and analysis with the detail, and then I broaden it to strategy and integration. So there's an overview of how I've designed this course with the topics and the division and everything. And the first lecture, I go into that in more detail. The course design, work in this course is designed to be done only between the active dates. That's important. So even though you can start reading, it starts on that day, work starts on that day and ends on May 11th. Work in this course will only be considered between these dates, so it doesn't go past May 11th. Only work required before the course begins. It's just you obtain the material and get prepared however you want to get prepared. Okay, this course does contain homework assignments, project reports, and presentations, and then finally exams. And this is pretty much the same as operations. Homework assignments are downloaded from Canvas, and then you submit them through Canvas. Reports are submitted through Canvas. Exam and project presentations are taken in class. Your course grade is based solely on students' performance in the grade measures of homework assignments, individual project report, project presentations, and exams. And student performance is all letters. It's all numbers. There's no subjectivity. It's did you do it or not do it, and then you get the grade, depending on the scale up above. Grades are not negotiated. No occurs, no extra credit. In calculating course grades, there's your rounding procedures, and the rounding procedures are related not only to the course grade, but also to your work in the course. Again, respectful behavior before, during, and after class sessions is expected, which includes, and I go through a list here, and essentially the whole key of respectful behavior is respect. Respect for the institution, respect for each other, respect for yourself, respect for the instructor, respect for learning. We're here to learn, and let's focus just on learning. If you have other issues, handle them outside of the university. Handle them outside of this course, outside of the class. We are here to learn. Okay, collaboration is encouraged. However, each student is responsible to submit work on based on their understanding and ability. So don't submit other person's work. You can collaborate to learn, but you do your own work and submit your own answers. Collaboration is not required. Lack of collaboration or failure to attend class does not eliminate your responsibility to submit the work. Collaboration can include, and I list everything, and I think you guys are really good at that, and I really like that. And so work together, work in groups, and if you need my help, I'll help you, which you'll see down below with communication. Communication is encouraged throughout this course, except for exam and the composition of the project reports. However, each student's responsible to submit work based on their understanding and ability. So I say it again, under communication. Although collaboration is encouraged, collaboration is not required. Again, I say it again down here for under communication. Communication between students about the material of the course through Q&A, question and answer, link in Canvas, use that for the material. And we did it in operations. Do it again here. If you want to have that asynchronous type of communication where I can be part of it, use the Q&A, the question and answer. If you post an answer, put it there, and I can look at it, I can see it. But when you guys have say, ask me a question from your external study groups, I don't know what you've done, and I can't see what you've done, but I can through Q&A. So use that as effectively as you can. Synchronous in-person office hours are Tuesday, 5 to 6, business school, that's my office number. Synchronous virtual office hours through Zoom on Tuesday and Thursday, 11 a.m. And the link will be in Canvas. Now, when I open it up at 11, I'll only wait 15 minutes for students to join. If no one's there for 15 minutes, I'll just close it. Now, what I mean by office hours is I can stay there for hours if people keep asking questions. That's why it's 11 in the morning. I just keep answering questions. Eventually, I need to move on, but like on Tuesday, I have class. But otherwise, I can have hours if people keep asking questions. Email or Canvas messaging are less efficient and less reliable modes of communication. Take care to use these modes only when necessary. Communication concerning course material should be through the question and answer Q&A discussion link in Canvas for each topic, for each session. Should email be necessary for personal communication, use that email address and this is wrong, and include AMBA 6271. There we go. That was from my other course. Okay. Now the reason you put this in here is that I'll know which course is this, because I teach multiple courses. And so just let me know I'm in this course, this kind of thing. And then I can answer a question if you have to do that. And if the question's about the material, course material that everyone should probably know the answer, often email is not private. I'll take that email, I'll post it on the Q&A in Canvas if it's about the material. Okay. Homework assignments. Just like operations, homework assignments will be assigned and graded. They will be available on Canvas. You download them on Canvas, you submit them through Canvas. And nothing is accepted late. If you don't submit it, you get a 0. Make sure you get it in. Now, this paragraph is also important, just like operations, that make sure you submit them on time, completely, one at a time. I mean, only once. You can't do part-wise. You have to do it only at one time. And also, you download the homework assignment, you do all the work, and when you're all done, then open it up and submit everything at once. You can't submit parts, no partial credit at all. And then I have the rounding conventions again. Any grading errors, and there will be errors, either Canvas or me, I make mistakes. Any grading errors on a homework assignment should be resolved as soon as possible. No correction to grading material will be made after the end of the course. And again, collaboration is encouraged, but it's not required. Exams will be in class. They're designed for evaluation. They'll be in class, open book, open notes, multiple choice, and timed. No collaboration is allowed on those exams. You have to do all the work yourself, but it's still open book, open notes. Collaboration is cheating and constitutes academic dishonesty. Exams not taken will have a grade of 0. No work accepted after the end of the course. Let me emphasize this last one. No work is accepted after the end of the course. No exam is accepted after the end of the course. So if you know you're not going to be there, you're on travel or whatever, and it happens, it shouldn't be in this program. But if you are, it can happen. Then let's make sure you take it before the exam due date and time. And we'll make an appointment, arrangements, come in, and we'll take the exam. The projects. Each student is required to conduct independent research on a topic based on the material related to the course. Okay, the deliverables from each student are an individual report and an individual presentation. Each student must have a different project. And the project grade for each student will be 10% on the presentation, 90% on the report, and the detailed project instruction will be provided during the course. Now, that's the specifics. In general here, the whole idea of this is to go out and learn something about this course, going beyond, extending. And yes, it has to be an individual report, individual presentation. However, you can work in groups, and you can take a topic but have different aspects of the topic. And that's perfectly fine, but each project must be different. Each presentation is different. Each report is different. So each person does something different. Now, you can take a topic area and have different aspects of it, and that's perfectly fine. The originally composed individual report shall demonstrate the student's knowledge of the research and an ability to communicate this appropriately in a business as a business professional, because this is not, although it's academic, it's a professional school, and this program is preparing you to be a professional. So present it as a professional. Don't present it as a student to English instructor. It's going to be a business professional. Each individual report must be unique. The length of the report should be more than 2 pages. But as I said in operations, my guideline, I love this term, succinct but adequate. Succinct, I want to emphasize, and I'll emphasize it through this course. I've emphasized in every course. Succinctness is a hallmark of business. Make sure you don't say things that are necessary, say only things that are necessary, and be succinct, but be adequate. Say enough to say what you want to say, but don't say things you don't need to say, okay, or things you need to do. So succinct but adequate, and that's basically, it should be a mandate. It should be a hallmark, a manifesto of business. Okay, the length must be enough to adequately present your work, but it'd be considered a negative if it's too long and the content is not significant. Submit it as a PDF one time through Canvas, and do not have a cover page, but use the title below. So you have one, here's your report in your words, and then type that line by, and put your name, date, as part of a team project, and name of the team project if you're part of a team. If you're not, then you don't need you don't need that. But if you are part of a team, then say what the team project was. Okay, and then beginning on the next line, you start your content. Now, the project presentations. The project presentation will be a summary of each student's research. Each person will be limited to approximately 2 minutes of presentation time. Now, this 2 minutes, sometimes people say, I can't say everything that I did in my report in 2 minutes. And I said, well, I know you're not supposed to do that. For each individual presentation, do not read your report or cover detail in the report, but present a general overview of significant findings from your report. So you're not giving a rehash of what you're writing. You have main points. It's like an executive summary. The individual report contains detail, but the presentation merely contains significant findings, even summaries. Okay, communicate the content appropriate to your objectives expected within the mode of communication. The mode of communication of a report, you can go into detail. Mode of communication of a presentation, it's succinct and main points and summaries. Detailed project instruction will be provided during the course. Finally, the general policies here is your assignments consist of homework, assignment, and project. All submissions are through Canvas. Each assignment not received through Canvas or date and time stamped by email, when due, has a grade of 0. Late assignments are not accepted, so make sure you have it on time. Grades will be posted online during the course. Final course grade are submitted through the registrar and not on campus. No correction to the grade will be considered at the end of the course. And again, I emphasize this again and again and again. Redundancy is not bad when you have something important. The last day of the class represents the end of the course. Nothing will be considered after the end of the course. Academic dishonesty: in the event academic dishonesty occurs on an assignment or an exam, the work will receive a grade of 0, and any incident of academic dishonesty may be reported to the business school and the University of Colorado Denver for further action. Conduct is important. Here is the code of conduct from the university. Here is the information procedures found from human resources. And they have a lot of different rules and regulations in there which apply to faculty, students, staff, even guests. Okay, and also FERPA, Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. I follow that, which means the grades do not, and your work only should be communicated to you and no one else, only with your permission if you go to someone else. And so someone will ask me about your grade or anything, and I say, no, I won't say that, because FERPA has privacy acts. Any current or potential indications of violations of verbal or physical disruption or intimidation can be reported to the CARE team, Campus Assessment, Response, and Evaluation team. This team is a university team. It's in the university. And this team is just evaluates. It's not punitive. It's not punishing. It's evaluating. And so there could be something maybe boiling or growing. They can assess what's going on or even help people. Even individuals, they can help individuals. If something does happen, they can respond. Okay, and so they can report where need be or just respond to soothe things out. So use the CARE team if they're needed. Now, any incident of violent or disruptive behavior can be reported to the Internal Affairs Committee of the Business School and the University of Colorado Denver. Conduct also includes etiquette that is respectful to all people, the facilities, and institution. Said it before, I'm repeating it again. We're here to learn, focus on learning, don't bring in other issues that undermines and challenges and jeopardizes learning. Commitment expectation: taking this course represents your commitment to perform the work when due. Faculty policies state that the classes in the business school should require of their students a workload in and out of class that enhances quality education and is consistent with the amount of academic credit granted for the course. So this is a 1.5 credit course, and so this topic I have focused on 1.5 credits. Okay, but I make sure I fill that up, and I don't necessarily go into depth, but I do go into enough breadth so you can build on it. It is expected that a student will spend time in and out of class. This course requires work done on a regular basis. No incomplete grades are given. And also the final policy, just like operations, policy and the syllabus, apply to each student equally. I will consider special circumstances, however, but standards will not be compromised, and all work must be completed during the course following to the policies and procedures of the course. Any action taken by me that might be taken as varying from these policies shall not be a cause to eliminate and alter a student's responsibility to adhere to all the requirements of the course or to prevent my action enforcing the policies to the course and to every student. In other words, what that sentence really means: if I do something to help a student that I don't violate the standards, everything is done according to the policies and procedures, the standards, but I might violate a procedure a little bit, like, oh, you can turn it in early, okay? That doesn't become policy. Now the procedures might change a little bit, but I will not jeopardize standards, and the policies will not be undermined. The procedures might vary, but that should not have a cause to create policy. That's the end of the syllabus for me. Now, faculty have been required to include the following information in their syllabus. So I'm putting it in my syllabus, rather than trying to reword it, I include the wording provided to faculty for your information. And so I'll let you read this. code of conduct. Actually, I did this, okay? But also regarding plagiarism, cheating. Okay, they talk about plagiarism and they define it: cheating, fabrication, falsification, misuse of academic materials, etc. So they expand it more than I do. Disability access. So there are many different modes of disabilities, and there's access for all different types of modes, and it's committed to access to all disability. Again, we're here to learn, and disability should not prevent you from learning. Everyone should have the capability to learn, or support if they need support, and everybody needs help one way or the other. Okay, non-discriminant and sexual misconduct with like the Title IX, I will follow that. University follows that. There will be no discrimination. There'll be no misconduct, sexually or otherwise. And so Title IX will be followed. University policies prohibit sexual misconduct, including harassment, domestic and dating violence, sexual assault, stalking, or related to retaliation. And if there is a problem, according to the Title IX, if there is a problem, report it. Report it to the care team or report it to someone. Okay. Statement on pronouns and preferred names. If I make a mistake, I use a pronoun that you do not, and you want me to use a different pronoun, I apologize beforehand. I will try to address people the way they want to be addressed. I respect that. If I make a mistake, it's out of ignorance. It's not out of malice at all. And I will do my best. And if I make a mistake, just correct me. And I will try. And I will try to do that because I respect what people want. And everyone should have that type of respect. Diversity and inclusion. This is done by Dr. Brenda Allen. She wrote this from the University of Colorado, from UCD, and I a very good person, excellent person. She looks at diversity and inclusion, diversity, equity, inclusion, and she does a lot in that area. And I support what she says. I support what she's saying here, and I understand what she's getting at. But, and I don't disagree, but I would not say it this way. In other words, you belong here, as do your classmates. You belong here if you have, you belong here if your schools, let's see, you belong here if you are, and they began talking about these other things. I said, well, I wouldn't say it this way. Just because you have that religion or that type of, just because you have the different color, different religion, that doesn't mean you should be here. You should be here because you want to learn. If you want to learn, I don't care about all this other stuff. It doesn't matter. If you want to learn, I'm going to teach you. And so you have a right to be taught. You have a right to learn regardless of your religion, all these things she lists. Religion, person of color, any type of disability. You have a right for education, and I will teach you. That's how I would say it. And then the Student Counseling Center. And this counseling center should be used for, people. Sometimes people have told me they're embarrassed to use a counseling center. No, don't be embarrassed. Everybody needs help from time to time. Use them if you need help. They're there. They're there to help you. Let's help each other. I'm helping you learn, okay? And you're helping me develop my courses better. Let's help each other. And if that help is there, then use it. Campus assessment. Here's the care team. And they repeat it again. Now, this land acknowledgement is fascinating to me, interesting to me. Acknowledgement that we reside in the homelands of indigenous people is an important step in recognizing the history and original stewards of these lands. Land acknowledgement must extend far beyond words. The United States has worked hard to erase the narratives of indigenous peoples over time. Land acknowledgement statements can help to remind us of the history, etc. Now, this is from Gracie Redshirt Tyon, Director of American Indian Studies. Again, from my experience, my background, I understand what she's saying here. I don't disagree, but I would say it differently. And I would say not only are the indigenous people, they reside as far as the land is concerned, that I think there's respect for the culture that's established here in the United States with our land, and recognize that that culture, that background is not the same as other cultures. And so we come together, and we don't have to have every culture represented, but we can't have any culture undermined, or any culture, any type of culture, no matter what the peoples are. We can't exclude them because of that. So recognize the Native American culture is very rich. It's extremely valuable, and as are all cultures. And so let's recognize the value of all cultures and bring them together. And you can start with the Native Americans, because this is their land. This was their land originally. Important dates to remember. Here's all the dates out there. There's a lot of them. This is the calendars. Okay, calendar of all the different events for when things are done. Okay, so that's the end of the syllabus. My syllabus. I hope this helps as a reference for this course. Make sure you refer to the syllabus, which I posted on Canvas, or this video for explanation. Otherwise, come to Q&A, come to office hours or in class and ask me. So this is all I have for the syllabus. I hope this helps. Between now and the next time I see you in class, take care.